Now, the headline, of course, is the border and the gun situation in Colorado and Atlanta. So those are the two that the White House press corps, they're going to be fervent about it. Now, you might say, well, the gun thing is a slam dunk for President Biden. He's going to go, oh, I got to ban the assault weapons, and we got to have a background check. You know what he's going to do. But the border is a little bit more difficult for him, and we'll get into that. Now, here's how it works, and I know this as a primary source. I knew communications people in 3 administrations, so here's how it works. Mr. Biden will get a list, a sheet of paper like this, okay? And on the list will be 1, ABC News, John Karl, 2, NBC News, whoever it may be. And the name will be there of the correspondent. You just don't have everybody coming in. I couldn't go to this press conference if I wanted to. It's the White House Correspondents Association. Those news agencies assign people there. So you'll have a list of about 15 or so people that he's going to call on. Now, under the list will be what the communications department in the White House thinks they're going to ask. Because remember, the communications department talks to reporters all the time. And they say, it's probably going to go here or there or whatever, depending on the person. There's nothing wrong with any of this. Every president does this. Now, Donald Trump was much more shooting from the hip. He didn't care what was on a page. He would go, you and you and you. He didn't care. He didn't care who they were, what their names were. He's out there. But the big difference is that the White House press corps wanted to hurt Donald Trump. They wanted to harm him, make him look foolish, debate him, insult him, Jim Acosta, CNN, whatever it may be. That's what they were there for. They weren't there to cull information. That'll be 180 degrees opposite tomorrow. I don't expect the White House press corps to be obsequious. Okay, I don't expect them to be that, because then that would be death. But they'll ask a hard question, but they won't follow up, they won't push it, they won't debate it. That's what I think is going to happen. It could be wrong, of course. Now, the president has some problems because today, Mexican President Obrador criticized Joe Biden about the border. Quote, expectations were created that with the government of President Biden, there would be a better treatment of migrants. This has caused Central American migrants, and also from our country, wanting to cross the border, thinking it's easier to do, unquote. And Obrador's got a problem. He's got hundreds of thousands of people parading through his country. He's got drug cartels shaking those people down. He's got violence. He's got unattended children. He's not happy about this, Obrador. All right, so that's number one. Number two, Vice President Harris gave a preview today on the CBS Morning News. Roll tape.
There are 500 children a day, and we don't have enough housing already who are crossing into the border. What do we do in the meantime to stop it?
Well, we do what we need to do to actually reconstruct the systems, Anthony, that are about processing these cases. And that is taking some time. Look, we've been in office less than 100 days. We're addressing it. We're dealing with it. But it's going to take some time.
Well, that's not going to fly, that answer. And by the way, Anthony Mason, a CBS correspondent on a morning program, did a good job today in asking very precise questions. That's not going to fly. All right, so for the last 6 months of the Trump administration, and my staff investigated this today, there wasn't a problem with migrants coming into the USA. That had stopped it because the Mexicans had put their army on the northern and southern border with Guatemala. There wasn't that. But as soon as Biden was elected and said all this stuff about we're going to pay for migrant health care, we're going to legalize, we're going to do this, we're going to wham! So when the vice president says, well, we have to reconstruct the systems, Anthony, why didn't you do that before? Why didn't you do that before? Why didn't you have some kind of anticipation here? It's not a surprise to me. I don't think it's a surprise to you watching and listening. Is it? Are you surprised? Everybody knew this was going to happen. So Kamala Harris didn't know it was going to happen? So you tear down everything that Trump did, including stopping the wall building, and you replace it with nothing. But now that there's hundreds of thousands coming across, we're going to reconstruct it, Anthony. Well, come on. Is that responsible? You know, I've said this many times and I'll say it again. Who wins here? Who is this whole border thing benefiting? Who? The drug cartels in Mexico. That's who. It's not benefiting the children. Certainly not. People are getting hurt down there, killed down there. Awful. So Biden's going to have to answer some of that, I guess, I hope. Gas prices. All right, this is AAA, the best source. So in the first week of this year, 2021, the average gallon of gas, regular $2.26. Now $2.87. And that's because President Biden attacked the gas and oil companies. I mean, that's why. I hope he gets a question about that because that's hurting every working person. And the final thing is an embarrassing situation that happened on Sunday with the Homeland Security Chief, Alejandro Mayorkas. So Alejandro, as you'll remember, I'm not going to run the soundbite because I did yesterday, said, hey, we have a closed border and we're deporting most adults. That's what he said. All right, he did 5 shows and that was his rap. Well, number one, that's not true. It's just flat out not true. His own Border Patrol says it's not true. All right, so listen to this. 59% of all migrants who come into the country illegally, according to the Border Patrol, are released into the wind. 59%. Maybe Mr. Mayorkas doesn't know that, as he's in charge. And 100% of all the minors that come in don't get deported, don't get kicked back. So my opening question, if I were lucky enough to be in a press conference tomorrow, would be, Mr. President, your Homeland Security Chief, Alejandro Mayorkas, said on Sunday shows that the border's closed and you're deporting adult migrants. Well, your own Border Patrol says it's not true. Did you scold the Homeland Security Chief? Did you take him to task? What did you do when he told an untruth to the entire world? Did you do anything? Are you aware of it? That's my question. Tough for him to dodge it. You got to have the stats and the facts at your hand. When you quiz a president, and I have interviewed 5 of them, you got to have the stats. Because not, they'll just wander off into wherever they want to do it.